Hello guys, and it's a good day because we have bullish signs everywhere today. That's right, we're going to go over all the bullish signs for 2024 and why it's going to be great. Let's start off with today. Today is January 29th. Google is going to start allowing crypto ETF ads. That's right, and crypto ads altogether I think are going to get a boost. Now, we might have some hope, not very much, but some, that the ETF ads are going to outbid the scam ads that you guys see every day. I don't really have anything to do with the scam ads. Google decides what ads you see on YouTube. So there could actually be some ETF ads that you see. Hopefully they override the scam ads, but those scam ads must be paying a lot to Google if they're willing to actually overlook them right now. So I wouldn't put too much hope in that, and I think you'll probably continue to see them on Twitter too. But even that's an indication of how popular crypto actually is, that there's so much money out there and people are willing to spend so much that they're able to pay like huge amounts of money to run those stupid phishing and like buy one, get two free scam ads. Don't pay attention to any of those, but just the prevalence of those ads shows you how popular crypto is. And of course, Google allowing crypto ETF ads is another step that brings in the more mainstream investor into crypto when they see the Google ads. Now, I'm sure there'll be some fake ETF ads, and if Google doesn't get rid of those, I'm guessing BlackRock and stuff will sue them because they're misrepresenting BlackRock, and that could actually be an incentive for Google to really clamp down on some of these scams, because I'm sure there will actually be scams imitating BlackRock, Fidelity, and the like, and those big fat cats are not going to like that. But just the prevalence of ads, and even the scam ads, are an indication of crypto's growing popularity, and that it is a giant train that you either get on board or get ran over. And Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren are going to get run over. Talking about politics, there are now 18 people in Senate, the upper chamber, not just the House and Senate, that favor crypto. And you have obviously Republicans, but you also have Democrats like Kristen Gillibrand. So it is a bipartisan liking of crypto. And that's very, very assuring, because, you know, we have more lobbying power than ever now, more lobbying money than ever now, and we will get more senators on our side. Because congressmen, if they don't like anything, they like money and they like campaign funds. And crypto can compete with the best of them, like banking and healthcare now, with the amount of money in the industry. Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren aren't going to like that, but it just kind of sucks for them because they are trying to stop an inevitable train. So that is the second bullish signal. Now, for sure, there are 30 senators, bipartisan, that are set against crypto, including our favorite Elizabeth Warren. But I think that army is going to dwindle down, and the pro-crypto army is basically gaining more and more momentum. And a lot of lawyers and legislators see 2024 as a positive year for legislation for crypto, not another year of massively clamping down on crypto. So that is very, very good news for us. More politicians, more lawmakers on our side, less of them completely opposed against us. And for some of them that are completely opposed against it, I'm sure if we throw them a couple $1 million, they will come too, because they really want the campaign funds and they can't really afford to say no. So our influence will reach wide and far. The third thing is, like, you know, we have Schwab and Vanguard not wanting to have Bitcoin ETFs. But, you know, like Merrill Lynch got goaded into it. And like Charles Schwab, one of the last holdouts, is being goaded into it too. They're looking for a retail Bitcoin ETF. They're looking to launch one. They see the money that it's actually being made on these ETFs, and they do not want to be left out. Plus, business pressures are going to force all of these funds eventually to come to a Bitcoin ETF. I think even Vanguard, with their $7 trillion fund, is going to have to kneel sooner or later as people go to BlackRock or Fidelity. And that can actually be seen of the outflows from Grayscale to BlackRock and Fidelity, because the Grayscale has higher fees. And I think like several people actually quit Vanguard and they're flowing to BlackRock and Fidelity. So I think the stand of like, we won't approve Bitcoin right now is not really going to last long, or we won't offer Bitcoin ETFs are not going to last long, because in these funds, the customer is generally always right. And if the customer demands Bitcoin ETFs, you will have to have a Bitcoin ETF to please the customer or go out of business. So Schwab, which originally wasn't going to offer it, it looks like they're looking for a specific retail-based ETF. And of course, Schwab's entry into the Bitcoin ETF market signals a significant shift towards mainstream cryptocurrency adoption, which the ETF already has. There are obviously concerns, but it's going to happen sooner or later, whether regulators like it or not. And that leaves, with the US coming into the crypto market, Asian crypto ETFs are actually looking to be approved, starting with the Hong Kong ETF. Now, eventually China is probably going to have to play ball because China's economy is a mess and they need anything to jolt it up. So they might look to blockchain and crypto, even if it has certain political costs, like the country not being able to control like crypto entirely. I think they're not going to have any choice. So I think Hong Kong first, and then several years later, China will probably come to it. And other countries like Japan and Korea, are definitely looking at it as well. Especially South Korea, I think they're going to let one through, which means of all the major countries, the UK might be the last one to allow one, but they're fighting a very lonesome war, and I don't think they're going to win that. I think the Brits will stand up and demand an ETF sooner or later. Plus, outside of I think UK, Europe is generally more agreeable and more progressive in terms of crypto than the UK is. I guess that's just another consequence of Brexit. But either way, ETFs are getting approved not just in America now, but all over the world, especially even in places where there originally was really hard resistance. China is going to get pretty desperate on their economy soon. I can see it right now, and they're going to look at this as another opportunity. So hopefully that'll happen in the next 2 or 3 years, the ETF, especially when Hong Kong allows it. So BlackRock's ETF has also crossed a $2 billion market cap. Now, some of that is from Grayscale, but there are other investors coming in. As you can see from Bitcoin's price rise, the amount of people buying is slowly overtaking the amount of people selling. And the fact that an ETF got over $2 billion market cap within 2 weeks, that shatters a lot of records for ETFs. The volume for a lot of ETFs after they launch, even all of last year, all of them put together outside the crypto ones was $500 million. That should show you the amount of demand there is for crypto. So retail does actually have demand for crypto, but they want a layer of safety, which I think they think is what the ETF is. I think they're a little bit mistaken on that part, but still, they have shown us that they really, really want crypto. And, I bet the ETF's going to cross tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions of market cap soon in the future. And, that's really reassuring to me because that means a lot of money is actually coming into crypto. Plus you have the Middle Eastern sovereign funds, which could add tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars to crypto. So that gives us a very, very good bull case for 2024. The other is this, crypto is Countries and states are, well, not so much U.S. states, but other states in the world are looking at BTC as legal tender. More and more of them. You have Argentina right now. El Salvador obviously has already done this, but now you have Argentina. You have even Taiwan, which is a key U.S. ally. Now, I don't really know if they're going to do it yet, but Mexico and Brazil is looking at it too. So it's not just in Asia, but it's also certain countries in the Americas. Now, the IMF in the U.S. might try to bat that down, but realistically, these countries are not abandoning the dollar. They just want something in addition to the dollar because they can't get enough dollars, essentially. So, Bitcoin is more global. It can be transacted anywhere. And of course, Argentina's president is going to be very, very pro-crypto. I think Venezuela is looking at it too. Brazil said they're looking at it, although it's not likely it's going to pass. Taiwan is actually looking at it, as well as several other countries. I think a lot of these small countries will eventually jump on, and then the bigger countries will have to jump on too, if they want to get in on some of the trade. So countries actually setting BTC as legal tender, that's a trend that's going to come up in the next couple of years. That will definitely jolt the value of Bitcoin up. They're only looking at Bitcoin as legal tender right now. I think it'll be several years if they look at any altcoins as legal tender, if ever. But that's very, very bullish for Bitcoin. The courts are also turning against the SEC in terms of crypto. You can see that in the Grayscale case. You can see that in the Ripple case. And, of course, the Coinbase case is not looking very good for the SEC, as the judge seems to be tired of the SEC shenanigans, and I don't think that'll be the last one. Courts, sometimes they favor the government, but a lot of times they are there to prevent government overreach. And if Gary Gensler appeals up to the Supreme Court, given the 6-3 conservative justice balance right now, I do not think he actually will win. So he might try to drag this out as long as possible, unless he gets replaced first. But whoever's succeeding him will probably see like, oh, he's actually lost these lawsuits. I don't want to screw up my reputation by losing even more lawsuits against this hopeless cause. And hopefully they'll be pro crypto as well. But the courts are solidly pretty much anti-SEC at this particular time. The only things the SEC can win are like maybe Hex and Luna, which are low-hanging fruits. But against any like legitimate or like decent crypto project with a fund for defense, they are essentially just losing against, and they might lose it all against Coinbase because the judge is not very friendly to them. And this is not like an one-off case. It's not like one jurisdiction. I think judges are looking at the cases, looking at the SEC arguments they've made, and on a broad scale, they are very, very skeptical of the SEC arguments. So it's not just one or two jurisdictions. I think it's going to be most jurisdictions. The SEC is going to find the judges quite hostile to the information that they're presenting over and over again, and it's failing over and over again. So legally and judicial wise, we have a lot to look forward to as well. So I've given like 6 or 7 reasons why you should actually be bullish in 2024. And I think they'll carry over into 2025 and 2026 as well. So guys, I think like DCAing into Bitcoin, at least before it reaches 50,000, is a very good idea, because I do think you will actually be able to make a lot of money. Of course, DCA into altcoins as well. Buy a couple of maybe even like memes out there, just, to try your luck. Don't put more than like 100 or 200 in them, but you could get a lot out of those as well. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.